In general, there are no fake masks, just poor quality. It's hard to say whether it's good or bad mask just by looking at it. So the first test is blood penetration resistance test. So basically is to use our normal human blood pressure at 120 mm mercury to shoot at the mask. The whole idea is so that the blood will not penetrate through the mask. So the second test is bacterial filtration efficacy test. How efficient the mask can filter off bacteria. So the normal standard is around 95% is considered as adequate. The mask that we are supplying to Singapore is 99% and above. The third test is particle filtration test. For our mask, we filter out particles that are 0.1 micron and above, PM 0.1. And in comparison, the N95, it filters out 2.5 micron or PM 2.5. The fourth test is breathability test. So in our terms, it's a delta pressure test. How easy is it to breathe while wearing the mask? The pressure difference is not so high and makes it easier for the wearer to wear for a long time. So the fifth test is a flammability test. It's just a safety test. It's to ensure that the mask does not catch fire or does not spread any flames. Currently, there are no Singapore regulatory bodies to control the standards of the mask. So that's why we follow the US or European standards and we try to meet or exceed their standards. Normally, masks should be kept in a cool, dry environment, best away from sunlight, best away from moisture, so that it will not grow any fungus or the elastic band degrades. So the whole idea of a mask is to protect the people around you and not merely to protect yourself. Why the surgeon wear a mask in the operating theatre? In case if the surgeon sneezes, his bacteria does not infect the patient that's on the operating theatre. That's why our government says wear the mask. If the person is sick, so that any germs will be caught inside the mask and can just throw away. These are the samples from 6 different manufacturers. Visually, they look quite similar. But on closer inspection, this one, you can see that this is 3-ply, but the 3rd ply is extremely thin. So for protection, it is not ideal for this one. So this is obviously a much better filter, and that's why it can filter 0.1 micron of particles and bacteria. So we should always wear the coloured side outside because the material actually repels water. One good way to test whether it repels water is by sprinklers of water over the mask. So example, like that. And if you see if it beats up, so which means it actually repels water. So we have now flipped to the other side of the mask, and on the inside of the mask is supposed to absorb liquid like our saliva or any water droplets. So to test, we do the same thing. We can do the droplets test. So a good mask is supposed to absorb the water droplets, and there should not be any beading. So it clearly shows that there's only one mask that absorbs on the inside.